All right. We are back. Does it look better this way? I don't know. This actually may not be bad. Means I don't have to worry about holding it for right now. But what's good, everybody? It's your girl Bofina One back again with another stream. I didn't know if I was gonna have enough time to stream today, but obviously I'm on. And I basically wanted to just get on here and talk to you guys about basically like will battle royale type games. Actually, let me see if I can put this on these books I have. This might do me some justice. Yeah, it's a little better. Okay. Had a few books I could lay this on, so it's whatever. But yeah, so I just wanted to kind of get on here and talk about the whole like, battle royale. That's kind of a big genre right now. A lot of people are playing that a lot. You have games like Fortnite, you have games like um, I think it's Battle Realm or Battle Royale Realm. You have another one, PUBG. Well, PUBG was technically H1Z1 was technically like the first one, and then PUBG came about, and then you had Fortnite, and then after Fortnite, now you have all these other games that have kind of flourished or have came out since. Um, and I kind of wanted to just have, well, I guess you could say a little bit of a discussion regarding like you know those games. Do you feel that the battle royale, those games will die off? Do you feel like those games are, I guess you say, gonna be around for a while? And me personally, I feel like it's kind of like a fad right now. Cause like it's like if you ever notice like a lot of the bigger streamers all of a sudden they went over to battle royale, they went over to the whole Fortnite and PUBG and that whole like thing because it's what's popular, and I feel like a lot of times the reason why people tend to get in on these type of games and why there's so much interest in these type of games is because they're easy to, I mean, it's hard, but it's easy to understand. Like when you really think about it, like when you really think about the whole battle royale type formula and you think about how the game is constructed, it's not that hard. You know what I mean? Like the only thing that's really to it is you want to be the last person standing by the end of it all, right? So that's kind of like an easy concept versus when, let's say, you compare it to like a World of Warcraft or League of Legends or DC Universe Online, when you compare that type of game where there's so many more things that have to be done to it. Like, I mean, you think about Fortnite. Yes, there is the building. Well, actually, let's look at PUBG. Let's not even talk about Fortnite. You look at PUBG, right? PUBG is strictly based off of just staying alive. I mean, you have certain things like guns. I know PUBG has cars, certain things like that. But for the most part, the ultimate goal is just to stay alive. You don't, I mean, if you play with other people, you guys can converse and communicate with one another. But for the most part, you don't technically need somebody else in order to win the game. Like, because you can play solo. It's kind of like with Fortnite. You can do solos or duos or squads, but it's ultimately the same goal is to make it into the end. Where compared to a game like WoW, where there's majestical creatures, there's different worlds you have to go to, or a game like DC Universe, where you have to make your layout. You got to make sure if you're ice, like that's my character on DC Universe is ice. You got to make sure that you have this power, that power. You got to make sure you have this feat, that feat. Like there's more pieces to the puzzle. It's not quite as straightforward as, oh, I'm just going to jump into a game, jump out of the sky, land, shoot people, build, and to the end. And then the other aspect of the game is it's free. Like whether people want to believe it or not, people like free stuff. Fortnite, I mean PUBG is not free, but I mean Fortnite's free. And that's another thing that I think that kind of got the craze for it is that it's on all these different platforms. You have so many different platforms that it's on, and it's free for a lot of people. And so that's kind of like the other thing that a lot of people like is that hey, it's multi-platform. You can have it on the Xbox, you can have it on the PlayStation, you can have it on the Switch. You can have, and then you can play the PC, and you can play it with all these different people. And I think that's something that people, they like that. I would say that's a huge thing for a lot of individuals, and I feel like that's the reason why um it's gotten so big. Like it's such a big deal because it's like you don't have to uh pay anything. You know, people do spend a lot of money for the in-game stuff. They pay a load of money for that, for in-game like dances, for in-game basically like cosmetics, like costumes that people can have. But for the most part, in order to just and that you don't have to have that. Like that's the thing with Fortnite. Like, and that's the thing I think that a lot of people like about it versus like other games. Like, for instance, let's look at Destiny. The only reason I'm saying Destiny is because Destiny 2 recently just became free for people for on the PlayStation 4. Well, you have to have PlayStation Plus, but if you have a PlayStation 4. And so Destiny is a cool game, but there's always like a pay to win feature to it, right? So let's say Destiny, you play the game and then there is what you call it, a DLC that comes out. Well, that DLC has X, Y, and Z equipment that you're going to need in order to play this mission or in order to get to the next step. So you may be able to go to PvP or PvE and you may be that 1 or 2% drop that ends up getting it, but 9 times out of 10 you won't be that 1 or 2% drop. So it's like a pay to win. Like you have to pay in order to get that piece of equipment or that piece of armor in order to progress on to the next basically phase, I guess you could say. Where thing like Fortnite, Fortnite basically the way you get good at the game is by playing and you just practicing. And so I think that's one of the reasons why so many people like it so much, and because it's cartoonish. It's very friendly, it's very open, it's very friendly to, I guess you could say, whoever wants to play it. It's very friendly. And so I think that's the reason why it's as big as it is. However, I don't know if this type of game is going to last forever. And the reason why I say I don't know if it's going to last forever is because you have so many people that are trying to emulate the game now. So you had H1Z1, then you had PUBG, then you had Fortnite. And fun fact for those of you who don't know, the reason why Fortnite got so really big is one, the building mechanism, but two, they took a lot of things that PUBG didn't do right, and they saw that they didn't do it right, and then they changed it and put it into their game and did it the right way, basically, if that makes sense. And that's one of the main reasons why PUBG I mean, and that's the thing. People always say PUBG's dead. I don't feel like PUBG is dead. I just don't think it's just it's almost like, okay, so and so here makes $20 million, and this person here makes $15 million. Just because that person makes $5 million more doesn't mean that that person making $15 million is not doing well. You know what I mean? And it's the same type of concept with PUBG versus Fortnite. Yes, Fortnite has surpassed PUBG, and it has more, you could say, concurrent players, but PUBG's not dead. Like, you know what I mean? Like the community, it's not like, oh, only 100 players are playing. There's still millions of people that play that game. And that's the thing that kills me with like the culture of the internet now is like everybody wants, as soon as someone passes you, you're like irrelevant. So like, let's say I have a million subscribers and I get, let's say, 500,000 views a video, and let's say someone else has 1.5 million and they get maybe 700 to 800,000 views per video. They get a little bit more than me. They got a little bit more subscribers than me. People would say, "Oh, she's irrelevant. Her channel's dead." Like 500,000 views is not a dead channel. You know what I mean? Like 500,000 views is like, that's not dead. Like there's nothing dead about 500,000 people watching your video. Even if it's some of the same people that went back, that's not a dead video, nor is that a dead channel. But like that's like the way of, like the way of the road. Like that's what everyone keeps saying. But that's like the way of how the social media culture is like people are so quick to call something dead or call somebody's channel dead or whatever. And so that's kind of, I feel like, how it is with PUBG and Fortnite. Like, because Fortnite passed PUBG, people are like, oh, PUBG's dead. Oh, PUBG's, there's nothing to it. It's a boring game. It's, like, I feel like that's like the thing with those two. But in terms of longevity, I kind of sometimes question if this game will be around, for the long haul. Like I don't know if this genre of game, and going back to what I was saying about, I don't know if it's gonna be around for a while because there's so much saturation in the game. Like, not in the game. I mean, there's so much saturation within the gaming developers community because it's like, I mean, think about it. Ever since Fortnite came out, there's been like two or three other battle royale type games. What technically, I guess after H1Z1, there's been so many versions of battle royale that have came out ever since, and you got games like Call of Duty that are now trying to do the same thing. You got Battlefield trying to do this. You got all these games that are like that were not even they were not even on that. You know what I mean? Like they were not even on doing battle royale. Now all of a sudden, excuse me. Now all of a sudden they want to do that. And so it's just interesting to see. It's interesting to see like if this genre is gonna last because I feel like eventually what's gonna happen is it's just gonna become so overly saturated that I feel like people are gonna be like, oh, it's just battle royale. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like right now it's still hype because there's not that much competition. There's not that many people that are, attempting to do Fortnite, like, or the battle royale genre. It's not that many people. But I feel like as time goes on and more games that were not in that genre start incorporating that into there, I feel like it's just gonna become overly saturated, and people just gonna be like, I'm over this genre. I'm over, you know, PUBG, Fortnite, like I'm over that. And so I feel like that's what's going to end up happening. I could be wrong, I could be wrong, but I feel like this is kind of like a fad. And the reason why I feel like it's a fad because the main audience of people that play Fortnite is kids. Kids are kind of like, they're like the top priority of people that play like battle royale type games, specifically Fortnite, right? And kids are like very, I would say, impressionable and at the same time very fickle, because it's almost like think about like last summer. I think it was last summer. The fidget spinner was like, I mean, obviously we're talking about like, a toy versus a video game, but I'm just saying the fidget spinner, that was the big thing. Having a fidget spinner, being able to spin it. Come this summer, no one cares about the, you know what I mean? Like it's like it was a fad, and like kids are so impressionable. Like for instance, look at the backpack kid dude. Like, I mean, people still know who he is, but he was hot like last year and like kind of the year before doing like that dance that he does. Now it's just like people know him, but like that's it. Like, you know what I mean? Like he was like a one hit wonder, and it's kind of the same thing with like the gaming world. Like certain things are like popping for a period of time, and then after a while they become irrelevant and people just don't give a rat's behind about them and they don't care. And so that's kind of how I feel. I kind of feel like that may be kind of like with battle royale, and I feel like the main reason why the battle royale or why Fortnite has been around for like a year and why it's stayed around for so long is because of it, what you call it, dang, I just lost my train of thought. I think the reason why oh yeah, because the cosmetics, because there's new skins, there's new dances that are being pushed out into the game, where you have things like PUBG where it was kind of just like straightforward, like, okay, this is the game, this is it. And so that kind of, I guess, keeps people coming back because they're kind of like, oh, the new skin's coming out next month. I want to get that skin. I want to show that skin. I'm like, you'd be surprised how serious people take cosmetics in games. Like, I didn't really realize how big of a deal it was. Like, I didn't really realize how big of a deal cosmetics was to people in the video game world. Like, I didn't realize like it was up there. Like, I didn't realize it was such a big thing. But cosmetics, people take cosmetics in video games almost the same as they take cosmetics in the real world. And what I mean by that is like they take they take like how someone will go out and go shop for clothes. They take it the same way, if not more. And that's why games that do like cosmetic stuff, that's why they're so big. That's why like any game that has a feature where like you can customize this and customize that, that's why they last so much longer, because they can constantly keep saying, oh hey, we're gonna put out this skin, or oh hey, we're gonna put out that skin, oh hey, like with Fortnite, they're gonna put out this skin, they're gonna put out that dance, so it's like there's always something in a sense to look forward to. And because they're not charging you in a sense to be able to have those skins. I mean, if you want to buy them, you can, but like there's no force. People like that too. People like to have the option to buy what they want and not be forced to buy. Like I think a lot of consumers, even though it's kind of weird because it's like I feel like in the gaming where it's like people will still buy a DLC. They'll still spend that $20-$30, but people would rather have the option, not feel forced. Like how I go back to the example with Destiny. With Destiny, even though yes there was the option, quote unquote, to buy the DLC or not, it was basically more like it was forced because if you didn't buy the DLC, you couldn't progress on to the next thing, the next light, the next equipment, the next gun, whatever it was, you couldn't progress on into that. And so that was like a big deal versus, with Fortnite, you don't have to have the skin. You don't have to have the dance. Those things don't make you play any better. Like like having a skin doesn't mean like, oh, I'm gonna have a better drop of this, or I'm gonna have a better this. Like it doesn't matter. It's just for your own pleasure. And so that's why I feel like those type of games have been so successful, which is the other reason why I feel like so many of those games, like I feel like was it Battle Realm and like some other games, like they're having such a hard time with trying to compete because they don't have that like factor that Fortnite does. They don't. You can say what you want. A lot of them they don't have that like they don't have that thing about it like Fortnite does. And then the other thing too with PUBG, what killed them, I think, so much is like I've said before, like PUBG, PUBG didn't make their stuff available on all platforms. They took so long, and it's still I don't think available on the PlayStation 4. They just got it available on the Xbox a few months ago. So like it's like they take so long to get the ball rolling on stuff, and it's like they didn't get no ports. So for the longest, it was only available on, I think, just PC. Then it became available on the Xbox. But it's still not available on the Switch. It's still not available on the PlayStation 4. So you're losing out on potential money. You're losing out on potential growth because you're not making it available on all platforms. And I don't even know if you can cross-platform on that game. So I don't know if people on Xbox can play with people on the PC. So that's the other thing. So you make it so it's not like it's not a friendly game. You know what I mean? Like it's that's the thing that people like with Fortnite is it's a friendly game. Like you can be very friendly with people amongst different consoles, amongst different platforms, and people like that type of stuff. Like they get off on that type of stuff. And so that's one of the things that I think people don't like. And at the same time too, it's a little challenging for me, but I know some people they like streaming those type of games because they feel like it's an easy stream, it's an easy talk where you have certain games like, I don't know, let's say like Overwatch, those are like competitive games, like really competitive games, or like League. Those games are extremely hard to try and play. You know what I mean? Like they're hard to play and stream and be interactive with your chat at the same time. Those type of games are extremely complicated and they're extremely hard to be like, okay, I'm gonna concentrate on the game, do a good job on the game. Plus, I'm also gonna interact with my chat and try to be a good streamer. It's hard because those type of games like Overwatch, they require so much of your attention that even if you look away for a second, you may die. You may ruin something, for your team. You know what I mean? Like, it's like the consequences are bigger. And Fortnite is the same way, but the difference with Fortnite is like if you're playing with a group of people and you're talking, people can kind of talk to you and be like, oh, hey, this is happening. Oh, hey, and people do that too in Overwatch, but it's just different. It's a different type of competitiveness, I guess, if that makes sense. Like, it's just different. People take those games more, I would say people take games like League and maybe Overwatch more seriously than they do Fortnite. I don't know. I guess, like I say, it goes back to the whole thing of what I was saying about the whole friendly community. Like, Fortnite just has a more friendlier type community than a lot of the other games do. So, I've been ranting on here for almost 20 minutes, but, yeah, I don't know. It's strange. Like, I don't know if the genre will ever die or will it just become overly saturated. Because that seems to be the wave, is that it's just going to end up being overly saturated, and it's just like people are just, it's like every game is going to have it in there, and it's just going to be like, okay, nothing's new. So I wonder, kind of makes me wonder, like, what's going to happen in the future, in terms of this type of genre, because it almost seems as if story mode games are no longer a thing. Like story based games, people don't like the last big hype story based game was like that came out this year was probably like God of War and Detroit Becomes Human. Those were like the two big games I think that recently came out that a lot of people were like, "Holy cow, this is really good." Because a lot of time people don't like playing story based games. They like to play a game like Fortnite or a game like Call of Duty because they feel like they get their money's worth because uh there's the constant replayability. People like replaying stuff, being able to play with their friends, and that's why so many story-based games have went under. Like look at Tomb Raider. Tomb Raider is a perfect example. Like those games are good, but they don't get nowhere near the type of, I feel like, publicity or hype or acknowledgement or whatever you want to say that like games like Fortnite and other games do. And the reason being is because people, like I said, they want to get the most money for their buck. And those type of games you spend $60 on and then you beat them in 6 hours. Well, you feel like I spent $60 on a game that after I beat it, that's it. So, and that's why it was so surprising when like The Last of Us came out and that game had did so well. Like that game did really, really, really good. Um, and like it sold a lot. I mean, they had an online system too, so I guess, well, the online kind of sucked. I feel like I didn't buy the game. I didn't even know they was gonna have an online. I didn't buy the game for that, so that's, I don't know, but I don't know. I guess it's just kind of like interesting, to see like how things have changed, and then maybe at the same time too. Excuse me. I also feel like the reason why so many games are not popping like they used to is because there are so many doggone games that you can play. Like think about this month, next month. So what? It's September 2nd or whatever today. You think about September, October, November, and December. Just look at those 4 months. These next 4 months or whatever, 3 to 4 months. See how many games are coming out. Like you ever remember like back in the day, how like there used to be, like you would wait on, there would only be a couple of games or a few games that were coming out every year. Well, now there are like loads of games that come out every day. Like I didn't even know, but Steam has a game that has different games that come out every day. On the console, there are indie games that we get. There are, what I mean, there's so many games that are always coming out that I think a lot of certain games kind of get swept under the rug. Obviously, you have your games, like your GTA 5, or Grand Theft Auto, where it's like those games, they they're gonna make it because of the franchise and the reputation that those companies have built, that people feel like, okay, this type of game is gonna be worth my money. Because I mean, like, look at Grand Theft Auto 5. Like that game has made just as much, if not more, from all the expansions and DLCs and like in-game products than when people initially bought the game. And that game has been, I think, for like what, 4 or 5 years, and it's still on the top, like, I think it's like the second row on Twitch. Like it's still one of the top watched games. Like you know what I mean? Like that's crazy, right? Like that type of game is still, like, in a sense, popping. And that Grand Theft Auto, was like the fourth one, I believe, was when the whole online started. But Grand Theft Auto was just a story based game. It was an open world story based game. You couldn't play with your friends though. So that's why I always say that, like, there are good story based games, but I feel like it's because there's now so many games that are out. There's so many other games that you can play, and there are games that are almost very similar to one another, but they're either free or they cost less money, and so people go with those options too. Like for instance, like Overwatch is still a relatively big game. However, there's another game that's really similar to it, which is Paladins. Paladins is a free to play game. It's It may not be 100% like Overwatch, but it's pretty close to Overwatch. And so that's another thing that, people, I guess you could say, are they look at, is like, okay, maybe I can find another game that's very similar to it. Like it's just a lot of stuff that um is, I guess you could say, interesting about the gaming community, that's the reason why like it's so hard for games to flourish and to pop. And I feel bad for like a lot of indie game developers, because I feel like when you hear the word indie, I feel like a lot of people kind of automatically like forget an indie game, like they're not interested in it because they automatically assume or they think it's going to be like a trash game, or it's not going to be that good, or whatever the, I guess you could say, stereotype of it, and those games get pushed under the rug. But in some cases, indie games are actually just as good, if not better than, I guess you could say, the American made games. So it's always interesting to kind of see how the gaming world and how the gaming communities and how stuff has flourished and how stuff has, I guess you could say, prosper, how stuff has, you know, grown in a lot of ways. But it's also in the same sense it's kind of bad because there's so much content, there's so much stuff that I think it's not that people don't want to play, but it's like you got to think about your average gamer, like, you know what I mean, like your old school gamer, new school gamer, whatever. Like your average gamer could be a kid that goes to school 6 7 hours a day. They got homework, or it could be your average adult that works 40 plus hours a week. Like people don't have the time to play all this stuff. And that's ultimately what it is that there's so much stuff that you cannot play every single thing. But yet there is so much stuff out there to play. Like, if that makes sense. Like, basically I'm saying, like, there's so much stuff that I can play out there. There's so much it's so much stuff out there, but I only have so much time in my day or in my week, in my lifetime, to play those games. Especially when you start talking about open world games that have side missions, main missions, or anything that's like open world where it's like you can do so many things. You only got so many hours in a day. You know what I mean? So like, let's say you work 40 hours a week. Okay, well, let's say you commute to work. Okay, you got to put in that commute time. Okay, well, let's say you got kids. Okay, well, you got to go take care of your kids. You got to take care of yourself. So it's like there's so much content out there, so much stuff for people to grasp on. There's so much stuff for people to get in on. However, there's not enough time in your average person's day, lifetime, week, month, whatever, to play everything. And that's why I feel like there's so many games that get swept under the rug, because it's just the time. Like I said, like back in the day, you didn't have 100 freaking games coming out per year. You had maybe, I mean, you had some small, but you had like the bigger ones that were coming out. And you would, okay, every year this game, I'm gonna play this, okay, and the next one wouldn't come out for 3 or 4 months. In that 3 or 4 months time span, you know what I'm saying? Like, you could have bought that. You could have played whatever game it is that you had bought, and that's the thing. That's the killer right now, is that there's so much stuff out there, yet there's just not enough time for everybody to play it all. You know, so that's kind of an issue. That's kind of a thing. And that's why being a game developer right now is probably one of the toughest things, because some of these game developers that are established, they've already made their grounds, they've already, they've done what they had to do. So coming in new and not having, nothing, it's hard. It's definitely a challenge. Hey, it's hard. It's for me, like a content creator, for someone that's trying to keep up with all those games. Like, it's like I got school, I got, I want to go out, I want to do stuff. Like I want to, like I have other things. And not saying that I'm obligated, but I'm saying like it's like at the same time with YouTube, if you're trying to make it into something and you're trying to grow, you're trying to prosper, in some ways you kind of have to keep up with the Jones, because it's what people want to hear about. Like, you got some retro channels where people play like really old school consoles and old school games. But for the most part, I would say most people want to play or want to hear about what's new, what's popping. People don't care about stuff that was like 10 years ago. It's the truth. And then the other thing is, like I mentioned before in my live stream yesterday, it's always hard because you're trying to compete with people that get early access to these games. People that get the beta codes, that get lucky. So you're trying to compete with all these other people that are basically doing the same thing as you, and it's hard, it's frustrating, it's annoying as heck. you know it gets to be extremely frustrating to try to like keep up with everything, on top of whatever else you may have to do in your life, or, whatever else you want to do. Like, there's so many videos, there's so many things of content that I want to do, but it's like you only got so many hours. And like, I used to always say, like, about content creators, like people that are like, like PewDiePie, like the people that are like they're known and they're making money off the platform. I always be like, they're always complaining about like, oh, there's no time. But then when you actually become a content creator and you actually start making videos and you actually start putting more effort and more edits and stream, I mean, whatever it is, you start putting more effort into your content. You kind of understand where they're coming from. You get like, oh, so this is what they're talking about. It's like, oh, so that's what they're talking about. Like you spend so much time, you spend honestly less time recording than you do editing and like finding stuff to talk about. You spend more time doing that stuff. You spend more time recording videos, you spend more time researching up videos, you spend more time doing like editing your videos than you actually do recording your videos. And so I remember I remember I never used to understand like why the bigger YouTubers would always complain about that. But now actually being a content creator, it's like, oh, I actually like understand like basically where they're coming from. So it's definitely really interesting, um, you know, to kind of see those transitions, as well as there's like the whole thing of people discussing they feel like for content creators, YouTube is like in the hole, like it's, I guess it's gonna die or whatever. Or it's getting ready to die soon. For content creators, they feel as if they are basically being put on the back burner, and the way the algorithm is, because the algorithm, really, when you think about it, it's super vicious right now. Like, I mean, you have to be uploading and creating content almost every day. Like, I feel like quality has honestly went down the drain. Like, and that's the reason why people say like, oh, like, like, if you guys ever notice, there's a whole thing with like mukbangs. Like, I want to do, and I'm thinking about doing on Monday, so tomorrow. Mukbangs are like a big thing now, because it's a way for your audience to like learn about you, but at the same time it's like a very simple type, it's a very simple type of video. Like, that'd be like me right now ordering something from Subway or Taco Bell, wherever, and then coming home and then eating it in front of a camera, and then I'm telling you guys maybe a story time, or how I feel about YouTube or whatever it is, whether it's a live stream or a YouTube video. But like, those type of videos don't require much effort, and they don't require much editing time for the content creator. So in all reality, you could make a mukbang 7 days a week. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could do that. And at the same time, a lot of the viewers like that, because they see that it's allowing for the viewers to get to know the content creator. And people like that. Like, that's why I always say, like that's why I always say, like, people that started off vlogging, and even if you started vlogging now, you probably could make it. But I'm saying people that started doing vlogging like back then, a lot of them are well off now, because vlogging allows for people to know about your life. And people are nosy as heck. People want to know all about what you're doing, who you with, what you do during your free time. People are like all about that type of stuff, if that makes sense. So, excuse me. I always say that. See, a new message or something. I would say that that's like those people are making it, because it's daily content. It's something that people can, I guess you could say, learn more about you. And part of the reason why, like, no, a lot of people don't do skits no more. If you guys ever notice, like, skits are not really a thing anymore. Like, you hardly ever see any channels that still really do skits. You see people that do parodies, but you hardly ever see anybody really do like an actual full on skit. Why? Because skits take so long to do. Because a lot of time you're shooting it with multiple people, or you have to get things like, costumes. You got to make sure, oh, maybe I need the sunset to be right here, or maybe I need, it to rain, whatever. You have maybe a certain background. Maybe you do skits with certain people, so you guys all got to be able to meet up at a certain time. So a lot of skit channels only could produce typically one video a week, sometimes two, but a lot of time it was only one, just due to the nature of actually making a skit. Was just it was too hard to you couldn't produce a lot of time 5 and 6 skits in a week. It's just the reality of it. And then they're short. So that's the other thing in terms of watch time. You're not getting the highest watch time, and that's the reason why like vloggers, they get their channels do so much better because they're creating 30, 40, sometimes an hour long vlog. And although most people don't watch the whole 30 minutes necessarily, even if they only watch half, that's 15 minutes. So their watch time is higher versus the skit you made may only be 2 to 3 minutes. So half of that may only be a minute and something. So their watch time is still higher than yours. And that's like the difference. That's like I guess you could say, thing that makes like the daily vlog, the daily grind such a big deal versus someone that only uploads once or twice, maybe even 3 times a week. So it's just interesting to kind of see the way of the road. It's interesting to see the way that like YouTube has changed. It's interesting to see the way the gaming community has changed, the direction in which a lot of these with this, just the direction of how things are going, so everything is all about like the amount of content or the amount of quality, not quality, quantity. Nothing is about quality anymore, and that's what I kind of miss. Hey, what's up? When boredom sets in, thanks for coming by. Check out the stream. How's it going? I've been talking for like 30 something minutes and like, oh, finally someone pops in. It's like, I've been on this stream talking for a little while, but I know it's kind of like an odd time. It's kind of early during the day, so some people may actually be at work. So it's like, what time is it for me? Let me see. It's 1:14. So yeah, some people actually have work. This is not really like a holiday weekend. He said, I'm sorry. Oh no, it's cool. I don't, no, it's cool. I don't expect like people to be here every time I stream. The only reason why I'm streaming earlier is because I'm going out a little bit later. So I was like, oh, I had a little bit of time. I got my homework done, got up early, did what I had to do. So I'm like, okay, let me get on and like actually stream or whatever. So, but yeah, the title of the thing is like, will Battle Royale games die off? I was talking about that a little bit earlier. And then basically I was just talking about how you said it's 11:14 a.m. on the west side. Okay, so you're like 2 hours behind. Yeah. So yeah, it's later over here. It's definitely later over here. So yeah, you're 2 hours behind me. So dang, yeah. But even then, I get up pretty early. Like ever since I had that internship over the summer, I don't know. It's like my mind. Like they say when you do something for a month, and it becomes a habit. Like I feel like that's what happened with me. Like I don't get up as early as I did over the summer, like at 3 something in the morning. But like I do now get up, I would say earlier than I used to. Like now I'm getting up at like 6, 7, and like I'm fine. You saying I was up all night playing Gambit on Destiny? Yeah, I saw your stream. I had woke up I think at like 4 or 5, and I was like, I think I had to go to the bathroom, and I looked at my phone. I was like, oh, he's still on. It's like, oh, he's still streaming. How is Destiny 2? How's that going right now? How is that game? Did you play the first one or no? I kind of want to know. I'm debating about downloading it. I mean, it doesn't hurt because it's free, for PlayStation Plus users. But I don't know. I've heard a lot of people say it's good, but I wonder if people are saying it's good because it's free now, or you know what I mean? Because like I feel like a lot of people kind of have gotten on the wagon in a sense of Destiny, and I feel like it's because it's now free. I saw you was playing that, was it Until Dawn? I think I saw you was getting quite a few views on that one. That's always a pretty fun. It's always good when you get views on your streams, to be honest. People can say what they want, but it's always nice when you get views. Like, I hate when people always be like, oh, it's not about the views. I mean, not about the views, but like, it's also nice too, when you like stream and people actually like watch your content and actually, check you out and you interact with people and you share those like conversations basically. So, but I guess in terms of speaking towards the topic of the actual title, do you think battle royale games, will die off eventually? You said I'm giving Bungie the benefit of the doubt. Destiny 2 is amazing now. They actually patched it and changed it from launch. Okay. So I mean, do you feel like it's better than the first one, or do you feel like it's kind of about the same, or it's not that much different? What do you think? Boop boop boop. I don't really know. It's like I really don't have any input until I download it. Probably I'll probably download when I get back my room tomorrow, my apartment tomorrow. I'll probably download it and maybe I don't know if I'll stream. I may stream it tomorrow. I don't know. Maybe I'll try it out and play it just to kind of like see. Um, excuse me. I have noticed on Twitch though it is starting to go up. So maybe some of the hype. Maybe they're starting to gain back some of their audience. That's all I can say. They're starting to gain back some of that audience that they initially lost. So, which is good for them, obviously, because that game had just kind of went down the sink. Really, that game was just like, it's like man. You said, well, there were elements that Destiny 1 had that they were missing in Destiny 2. Destiny 2 biggest problem was not enough content and shadiness. Shadiness, what do you mean by shadiness? You talking about shadiness in the sense of all the microtransactions, or like what do you mean in terms of shadiness? I mean, I feel like Destiny 1 didn't have a lot of content. Like I feel like their DLCs were like, okay, let's give you like this little small planet. Let's give you like two missions to do and then one raid. Like I felt like and you spent like $30-$40 for that. Like I don't know, to me that wasn't a lot. I feel like Destiny 1 was kind of the same thing too. They didn't have a lot of content in my opinion either. It was more DLC based. Like that's all the game was really. Because the actual game when you initially bought the first Destiny, it wasn't that long. Like, and because I remember when I bought it after it came out. I remember the game was only like $14-$15. I'm like, why is this game so cheap? And everyone's playing it like crazy. Because the game itself is not really that much on it. It's all the DLCs and the extra stuff that you have to buy. And that's actually what I was talking about earlier with the Battle Royale games and like, will the Battle Royale like die off and stuff. That was kind of some of the stuff that I was talking about, like why games like Fortnite have been around for so long. I mean, it's only been a year, but I'm saying like why is the battle royale genre popping, and why is like a game like Fortnite still even relevant? And a lot of it, like I was saying, has to do with the fact of with Fortnite, yes, there's in-game cosmetics that you can buy, such as the skins, such as like the dance moves and all the other stuff, but those in-game things don't affect how good you play in the game versus a game like Destiny where you don't have to buy the DLC, but if you don't get the DLC, you're not able to get that. I mean, you may get that 1% drop. Maybe if you play PvP or PvE, you may get it, but a lot of time you're not going to get that item that everybody else is getting because you don't have the DLC. You won't be able to partake in that particular raid because your light is not high enough because you don't have that item that you only can get due to having the DLC, so yeah. You said they were throttling HP, they changed the shaders, a bunch of shady things against the community. Destiny 1 was good by the end. I mean, don't get me wrong, Destiny was good. Like, that was a good game. It's just that I personally, and a lot of people got sick of just the microtransactions. That was the thing about that game that was just like, I was sick of that game. It was just like the constant microtransactions. Like, dude, I'm not going to keep spending $30 every month or every other month to get 2 new missions in a raid. And then I remember one of the raids wasn't even that long. Like, everybody beat the raid within like a day. I can't remember which one. I think the last one I played was something Kings, whatever it was, where it was like a puzzle, I think, or something. Yeah, it was something like that. I remember King Ithalian, he was playing that. Well, that raid I think was a little bit more complicated. I mean, but like, I guess the hype with Destiny 2, that was also the other thing that was exciting was like, it took people so long to complete the raids. Like I remember you would go online and people would be looking, people would go online and they would be looking at like how to do the raid, and it was like, it was always a race for people trying to figure out how to complete it. So that was the nice thing about that community was like, I feel like there was never like early access. You know what I mean? Like there was never like, oh, I'm competing with someone else. Like I'm competing whenever that DLC drops, just like everybody else. And that was the thing that I liked liked about it. You said Destiny 1 didn't explain itself well. It was kind of like Warframe. A lot of people did know how to farm resources like me. Yeah, yeah. Destiny, I feel like the first one didn't have a story. I genuinely felt like it didn't have a story. Like there was a story, like okay, you are a guardian of the galaxy, so you're supposed to be there to protect. But besides that, like I felt like there was not much else. Like there was nothing else to it. I knew I had to get my light up. I knew I had to, get better gear, better quality, and like you had to do missions, but like there was no like story, like why are we doing this, there was no why. There was like half the people you would meet, it's like who is this person, why is this person here, why are they important in the game. You said Destiny 1 hid the lore behind Grimoire cards. That was a fatal mistake. Grimoire cards, I don't even know if I even played it to that point. Like I said, I had got off Destiny a while ago, so I don't know if I know what Grimoire cards are, but I don't know. Like I said, their biggest thing for me was just the microtransactions. I was just sick of the whole deal. I need to turn the AC down because it's like going like crazy. You guys get to like look dark. Sorry, I need to turn it up because it's like going like crazy. Sheesh. Bring it up a notch because this thing is like blowing nonstop. It's getting a little too cold in here now. Okay, there we go. There we go. Here we go. So yeah, but no, but Destiny was cool. I mean, I don't know. For me, it was just a microtransaction, and that's why I think that's the only reason why I might be interested in playing this second one again is because what you call it, it's free. And then that was the other thing I used to get sick of with Destiny, was like trying to find people to do raids with, and then when you used to do the raids, people would leave in the middle of the raids, and that was the worst thing. And the way I believe the raids went, it was kind of like if you left, you would have to start over a lot of time. So like you would be sitting there. I can't remember what the website was. It was a website that you could go on to find the raids or find people to do raids with. And it was so annoying because people would get frustrated and they would just leave. And I was just like, I would just be in there like it'd be like 2, 3, 4 o'clock a.m. It's just like, can we just get this done? Can we just do this, guys? Like, can we just do this? Like, and it was frustrating as heck. So that was another reason why I got sick of that because like it was almost like you got penalized. And I know people say, "Oh, well, just meet people." It's like, well, yeah, you meet people, but like your friends are not always online. Or your online friends are not always on when you need them. You said it was a note that would pop up at the bottom of the screen. You would then go to Bungie's website to see what it said. Great lore, but bad. Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, maybe I don't know. I don't know when that came out. Maybe it was always there. I probably just didn't notice. It probably was always there. I probably just never like really paid much attention or gave it much mind to it. So, but yeah, like I said, I probably will end up downloading it just to see what it's like. Um, you know, just to be like, hey, if I like it or not. Because since it is free, I won't feel bad if I don't like it. Like I won't be like, oh, I feel bad because like I'm telling you, I used to know life that game. I used to literally play that game 24, not 24, but that was like my game I would play when I would be done with school, when I'd be done with homework on the weekends. It was always like, okay, let's invite so and so. Okay, let's play with like that was like my game. Like that's all I played. So I mean, it'd be cool if I could get back into it like that. I wouldn't mind. Um, but I did hear there's a lot of DLC, so I don't know. I don't think the DLCs would be included in the game, the free game, because it's just the base game, I guess, for it. So I'll see. Maybe we'll both play together, get some people in, and everyone can actually like, I don't know, do a raid or something together. I don't know. Cause I can't remember. Were you able to transfer over your stuff from the first one to the second one or no? I can't remember. You said, yeah, we can do a raid. Yeah, as I'm saying, because like that's the thing with Destiny was like, I always want to do raids with people like Okay, not that I know you personally. I'm saying like people that you kind of know, because it was always cringy when I would go on. I think I can't remember what it was called. It was a website that you could go to. It was like a Destiny raid website that you would go to that you would base. I guess it's almost like a dating website. You know, you'd be like, oh hey, I need uh three people for this rate, or hey, I need two people for that rate, and you know you would join, you would add them, and then they would join. But it was always so weird because like you didn't know the person, and that's the thing that you have to know somebody to do a raid with. It was like the chemistry was always off, which kind of made like the gameplay off because people wouldn't talk when they should talk, and in those type of like raids, like I feel like you gotta talk, like you have no choice, like you have to talk, or you need to talk to be successful in them. So that was always like a really frustrating thing. Um, but yeah, I know Warframe. So are you still playing Warframe though, or are you kind of like backed away since now you're playing Destiny? Or are you kind of doing? Or are you kind of playing both? Like how is that going for you? But I feel like Warframe was more confusing than Destiny was. I feel like Destiny was more straightforward. Like because at least in Destiny, like they gave you like the objectives of like what you should be doing, like, oh, do this, kill this many, like do this, where like I feel like Warframe was like I feel like I just got thrown into something and it was just like, huh? It was like it's like, huh? It's like I don't know. You said no, you cannot transfer from Destiny 1, but it has the same system where you transfer stuff to different characters if you vote. Oh, well that sucks. So I'm gonna start over. What light are you? What's your light? Do they even still use that term for Destiny 2? Like people's light level? I remember I was up there in the first one. You said I'm still playing Warframe. It is a grind, and I got hella games. Yeah, yeah. I see. I see. You've been streaming a variety of games, which is always great to stream. Like I hate when people are like, "Oh, streamers only stream one game." It's like, yeah, you play one game and then you just burn yourself out, and then it's like, it just gets boring. Like I hate just playing one game all the time. It's nice to be able to mix it up, to play this or play that, or just try different stuff versus, oh, I'm just gonna only play one game, and then it's like. But then again, I feel like a lot of people that only play one game all the time, and like the bigger streamers, I feel like it's like they do it just for the money, not because they really want to play the game. Because I just don't see how. Um, I just don't see how you could play a game like that all the time, like one game every day, all day. You said I'm 363 Hunter, 362 Warlock, 36. Oh, okay. What's the highest light right now? That's pretty high though. 'Cause I remember when I played Destiny, I think it was like high 200s. I think it was like two. I think it was like 280 or so. It was like a high 200 something. So, what is the highest? Is it in the 400s now or what? And how much content have you like? Okay, so since this became free, have you had to since you've been playing it? Have you bought any DLCs or like any extra stuff, or have you just strictly been playing off of the not the DLC, strictly off of just the game, like the just the game, or like have you had to buy other DLCs yet? I am really curious as to like what is the light, like that seems pretty seems pretty high. Dang, my battery's down to 53%. But that's what happens when you stream on your phone. Your phone, my phone is dying a lot anyway. I need to get another one. My phone's almost in December will be 2 years that I've had it. So you guys all know how that goes. These phones, they don't last. They don't really last no more in terms of battery life. And now, cause like Galaxy used to be really good, cause like you could. I used to be able to go online and like buy a battery and then just replace it, cause you could actually take the battery out. Um, but now it's like you can't. Like Galaxy basically has moved over to like the Apple, where Apple was always like that, I think, for a while, but now they're like that, so it kind of sucks. You said I bought everything for 24.99, pre-ordered Forsaken and oh, okay, so you got Destiny 2, you pre-ordered, so you got it when it first came out. Or are you saying that you got, or is that something that's coming out to Forsaken? See, I don't really know what DLCs are going on in Destiny and all that stuff. Because I'm just trying to see, like, I'm trying to see, I guess, like, is is the game, like, just getting the game free, is that enough content, like, for right now? Or, like, could you basically beat all the content from downloading it in like a day? Like, that's what I'm trying to see. Like, is it a lot of content or not really? Or is it like, hey, you need to go purchase this DLC to, like, really have a decent time? Because that's kind of how the first one was. Like, the first one didn't it well, it kind of had some decent content, but, like, it wasn't enough. You really had to go get the DLCs to, like, really, You said, no, I got Destiny 2 in year one content for $24.99. I paid full price for Forsake. Oh, okay, that's what you mean. Okay. Um, okay. So that does. Well, I have to wait and see when I download it then. So you've been playing it. So what's the highest light right now then? Do you know? In the game? Like, what is considered the highest light? I want to know. I mean, I probably could Google it, but I'm streaming on my phone, so I didn't know if you know. You said your character's like 340 something. And also, how is the community? Is the community good? Is it toxic? Is it trash? Is it, I don't know, good, bad? Like, how's the community? I mean, when I played it, it wasn't like bad. The community was pretty good. Only thing was, like I said, it always sucked because people would leave the game. I mean, leave the raids. Sorry, I'm looking at like something over here. Dang, it's almost 1:35, almost an hour too. It's crazy. Yeah, but I think this is something that I may start doing more of. I may start live streaming, like, I don't know, I'm not gonna say daily, and I'm not gonna like put that type of pressure on myself. But even if I decide to do this once or twice a week, I think this would be great to start having, like, even off my phone, because, like, I could be like in class or like waiting for a class, like, oh, I got an hour to wait. Okay, I can get on, do a quick 30-minute live stream, like, just start talking. Like, I don't know, I just think these are like kind of cool because I could be anywhere and stream versus like when I stream strictly like video games, it's like I have to be in my apartment. I have to like be playing a game, where this is like I could be out and I could stream. I could be, I mean, I could be anywhere with or without Wi-Fi, and could be streaming and giving you guys content, like in between breaks, like in between classes, or, well, maybe not in between classes. I probably would be doing homework, but I'm just saying I could be giving content, you know, for you guys. You said you could stream a game on your phone. Um, I don't even know how to even stream a game on my phone, to be honest. I know people do it, but I don't even know how to stream a game. Can you actually stream a game on your phone? Someone was talking about that, I think, yesterday. I think you can. I don't know what software you have to have. I'm not really a big mobile person. Well, okay, I take it back. I was at one point. Like, I remember when I first got my like phone, and all that. I used to play a lot of mobile games. What's up, Your Majesty? Thanks for coming by checking the stream. How's it going? I used to play a lot of like, you need YouTube gaming, I think. Oh, that's an app you have to download. Well, maybe that's something I look into, because I used to play. I used to be really big into like those like story kind of based games, they call them, basically. So they're like games that you you like make choices. So I used to, that's actually one of the things I used to play, like choices was like choices stories you play or something like that. It was something I used to play that a lot, and it was like, okay, this is a section of this story, so I used to play that type of game. I used to play, what was one on my other phone? Surviving High School. I think I was like in middle school, and I was like, oh, I want to see what it is to be in high school. And so I remember I used to play like those type of games. But like, believe it or not, people actually like those type of games. Like, you have like a lot of like K through fifth little girls and boys that like watching that type of stuff. What's another one? I used to play Geometry Dash. That was when I used to play. I used to play, I think it was what, Stack 'em Up something. So there are a few games that I could probably stream off my phone, and somebody would be interested in watching it. You'd have somebody. But I guess I feel like in terms of timing, it probably wouldn't be the best when I'm in school, because people would probably be in class, so they may not be able to watch me, or at work. You said you need YouTube gaming. What's good, family tree? Like, what's good? What's good? So yeah, I want to know you guys' opinions. So now there's a couple people in here. I want to know 'cause the base of the title of what I was doing. I've been on for like now almost an hour, so I was talking about it earlier. But do you guys think that battle royale games will die off or not? Like the battle royale genre, do you think it's gonna die off? Or do you think it's gonna be around for a while? You said I'm playing Final Fantasy V on a cell phone now. Yeah, I mean Final Five, Seven. I said five. I'm playing Final Fantasy VII on a cell phone now. Okay. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of games you can play on your cell phone now. Like you can play almost okay, not every game, but quite a few games that are on like the console or PC. A lot of them are on the mobile, so there is a community for that, which is really strange because I never would have thought that mobile games. Like I feel like people never. I didn't know that people took mobile games honestly that seriously, but apparently I was wrong. So yeah, that is something I maybe could start doing. Get my battery, get like a new battery so my phone could actually like survive and last. You said, I don't think it will die off. I think that its popularity will not be so dominant. It's like hearing your favorite song over and over again. Right, right. I agree. I definitely agree. I definitely agree. Yeah, it's one of those things like there's nothing else competing with it right now. I think too. Like you don't have another genre because like Call of Duty's coming out, Battlefield is coming out, but like I'm not saying that who cares about those games, but those games are not like as poppin' as they used to be. They're not up there, you know. Um, you know what I'm saying? So I definitely get that. However, I like I said, the reason why I think it's so big right now, why Fortnite and those type of games are so big, is because of them being so friendly. They're it is. It's friendly. You can play with basically anybody from any platform on those games. The cartoonish characters. You didn't have to pay to get it. And like I made the comparison earlier with like games, that have like DLCs, and we were talking about Destiny, so I'm gonna use Destiny as an example. Compared to like Destiny, where you like you don't have to buy a DLC, but you're kind of forced to buy it because if you don't buy it, a lot of time you don't get those drops, and the drops like in terms of guns or equipment that you need to get to better light, so you can do that raid. And if you don't have the DLC, where you can't do that raid, where with Fortnite, you buying an outfit or a dance doesn't make you any better at the game. It's just a cosmetic feature or a taunt or whatever it is that people do. So you said mobile games be rocking. My king of Avalon gameplay is mobile gameplay. Oh, okay. Yeah, I know how to like record. Well, actually, what I started doing because I use what is it called, AZ screen recorder, and I remember I tried like having like a little box, almost like a reaction video type of thing, but it's like it's meant for games, obviously, and I tried using that and it was cool, but I ended up downloading. I can't think of the program. It's on my PC. It's like an emulator for mobile, and so it allows me so I can actually use like my Logitech because that's what I was doing when I was streaming. If you ever go to my mobile games section on my channel, that's what I was using to stream. Was it Choices Stories You Play? I think it was called Stack Jump. That was the other game. So yeah. You said, I think that Battlefield 5 should not have pursued that mode. It made them look weak. We know why COD did it, but B5 during World War II needs no battle royale. Well, yeah, I mean, it's because of sales, because they're so afraid that, you know, um, they're so afraid that, like, gonna go under, because battle royale is like it's, and that's why I think I made a comparison. Like you can't compare them because they're two different genres. But I'm saying in terms of the hype, like the battle royale genre right now is like the hype for like back when I was a kid, you know, how COD was. Like COD was like the game everybody wanted to play. So Battle Royale now is like for the new generation, that's like the game everyone wants to play. So they're like, oh my God, our game is dying. Battle Royale, they're gonna beat us. We need to like step it up. So let's just copy and paste. So that's how I feel about it. Um, you said Ace has a live stream screen recorder with alerts. Oh, was that an app? Ace. You talking about AZ screen recorder? Is that what you mean? You said Ace. You said I want another camera though. Oh, what type of camera are you rocking with now? Are you just using like your mobile? I mean, well, your mobile, your cell phone camera, or are you like you actually have like a Logitech camera? Because the cameras I use, well, you said I think they should have done Vietnam. I'm so sick of Nazis. Yeah, you said yeah in Google Play Store. Oh, Ace. Oh, okay, that's actually like okay. See, I use AZ screen recorder, so maybe I'll look into that. If that one's better and I can record mobile gameplay and upload it for you guys, and even if I, like if I have to edit it, I don't care. But if I can do something like that, because that's what I think, is that what people do for like reaction channels? Like I saw someone made a video because I was gonna start making reaction videos off of my cell phone, because it's like I feel like nowadays people, don't spend hardly no time with videos. So I'm just like, why am I gonna sit here and break my back for a reaction video? Like I might as well make this the cheapest and fastest way possible. Like there's no point in me putting a lot of effort into them type of videos. Um, but yeah, in terms of I think they should have done Vietnam. You said I'm supposed to take Nazis. You want another camera. So what type of camera are you rocking? I mean, the type of cameras I use, I have a Logitech. I forgot what the number is. It shoots 1080p supposedly. And then I have a Canon T6i. I had this other flip, like when I was doing vlogs, I had that one. And then I have a Canon Elf. Well, it's like my mom's. That was when I really first started vlogging, like when I started YouTube almost like 2 years ago, whatever. Well, it's almost going on 3. Come January, it'd be like 3 years. So 2.5-ish, whatever years ago. So said LOL. I seen some low budget ass reactions through a cell phone, 140p. Yeah, I mean, yeah, cell phones. Because what I've noticed with cell phones is it says it shoots in, let's say, 720p, but like when you actually like export the video, it's not 720p. It's like 360p max. So a lot of time what you end up having to do, and even then this still may not necessarily work, but what you should do is you should render it. Take it off your cell phone, get it to your computer, and render it to a little bit higher quality, so that may help. But yeah, there's some crap quality out, and it is crazy because them be the videos that get the views. You know what I'm saying? Like the videos that be like 240p, like really low quality, they be the videos that get the views. Like what? You said I'll use my phone for vlogs. I was using the PlayStation Cam for console live stream until it broke. Yeah, I used to use my PlayStation 1 as well. I used to use my the camera when I was streaming off my PlayStation 4. So I remember I bought it, and it wasn't that expensive either. It was like maybe what, $30 when I bought it, maybe. So that wasn't that bad, and the camera quality is actually pretty good on that thing, surprisingly. I thought it was gonna be. I was like, man, I'm gonna buy this thing, and this thing gonna be crap. It's not gonna be good. You said I want attachment to make the phone camera better. You want what type of attachment? What do you mean? Like, how would you enhance? I guess how would you enhance your cell phone quality? Your cell phone camera quality. You said PSN hit me on my page. I primarily use my share factory to edit. It's a bit tedious, but one day I may buy a rig, but not today. Yeah, what I do for me when I take clips off my PlayStation, which I should really start using my auto more. I just be lazy and just like I don't feel like doing it. But what I do is I take it off my PlayStation, so I insert a USB and then I download that gameplay to the USB, and then I obviously put it into my computer, and then I render it so it's a little bit higher quality, and then I put it in for my videos. So that's what I do to kind of boost up the quality. And obviously I trim it, and then I make what they call make a new clip, and you trim it or something like that. So yeah, that's what I do for my gameplay. I used to use Elgato, and I should go back to using my Elgato for gameplay because it's a lot better. I can record in they say 1080p. I don't think it's 1080p, but it's close to it. So I could be making a lot higher quality videos, but I just haven't done it. I feel like mainly because I do commentary, so I feel like You guys come and maybe you watch the videos, but you come more so to hear what I have to say, not so what you see on the screen. You said I saw a phone attachment on Amazon that allegedly can help with phone cameras. I'm gonna check it out, huh? That's interesting. Yeah, because that's what I was saying. I'm like, how are you gonna like upgrade? The only thing I can think of is like you would take it off your phone and then put it on a computer and then render it to a higher quality. But that's interesting, huh? Let me know how that goes. That actually may not be a bad thing, you know. The only thing I think I want is I want a smaller camera. And a smaller camera, so like if I ever want to do vlogs, um, like a Canon G7X, so it's smaller. So it's not like it's something you could put in your purse or even your pocket. It's something you know what I mean. Like it's something you can put away. Where like the Canon T6i, that like you can't put that away. Um, you like you know what I'm saying? Like that thing is big, it's huge. Like you're not putting that away no time soon. It's going nowhere. You said, "At Your Majesty, will it help with my flip phone?" You still got a flip phone? I ain't nothing wrong with it, but dang, man. Hey, you gotta get it how you get it, though. I remember when I had my flip phone, I had that Razor, man. I remember, like, that was, like, the best. Because I remember when you used to be mad at somebody, and then you would just be like, you know, this is like the flip phone, basically. It's like this, hypothetically. You just be, like, on the phone. And then you'd be mad, and then you just close it, and then the conversation would just end. Oh, that was the best thing. I had a pink one too. I had a pink one. I think my brother he had a blue one. I remember they had something at Verizon when it first came out, and I remember we all like had got them. My dad I think had a black one or a brown one. Like I don't know. Like why would you want a brown phone? I don't know. It's kind of like an ugly color. I think he got a brown one. I had a pink one. My brother had a blue one. My mom had a chocolate. I don't know if you guys remember that. My mom had a chocolate. That was that phone that used to like slide up. Like that was the thing. Like when slide up phones came out, man, everybody. I remember I wanted one too, and I remember I got an LG Voyager. It was the one that slides like horizontally. Remember I got that. Man, them were the days. Them were the days. I remember we used to have. I'm over here having like flashbacks and whatnot, but whatever y'all hear. So I remember we used to have so many text messages or whatever. Um, we used to have like what is it called? We used to have so many text messages you could like send out and receive in a month. It's so crazy the like evolution of cell phones and stuff. Like now everything is unlimited, you know. But back then, because texting had just started, it was like, oh, you only gonna have so many text messages you can send out. I remember me and my brother we went over that like crazy. My mom just went and got unlimited. Fun fact, fun story, good times. Um. You said you write about low budget shit. My highest watch vids are low budget. Grainy. Oh, I'm done. You said grainy bull, no thumbnail at the time, no tag, no description. Most popular vids are on my channel. No clue how that happened. It's probably because the title. I'm telling it's the title that probably attracted people. Whatever you titled it as, it like you'd be surprised the type of videos people go on YouTube that get popular. Like, you know, like just dumb titled videos. Like, how did this get over my video? You know what I'm saying? You said flip phone, laugh my ass off. I'm rocking the flip. If you mad, you can slam it, but on the touch screen, you be fumbling to get them off the line. Plus, no more butt calls. You right. I'm gonna need you to upgrade a little bit. You petty. You said I got a cheap Android just for mobile gaming, but don't use it for calls. Flip phones is making a comeback. No, it's never coming back. No one wants them. Liquid Metal was the title. That's it. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it was. And it depends. I don't know. When did you make that video? Because, like, I feel like if you made that video even, like, 6 months ago or a year ago, like, even a lot of my videos, like, I remember I had a video, Blue Yeti. Y'all can look it up. Blue Yeti unboxing video. And that video has over 100-some views. That was probably one of my worst videos. I mean, well, not worst. I mean, but in terms of quality, that was probably one of my, like, worser quality videos, but it got over 100. I think I don't know, maybe at 200 views now. I'm just like, why would anybody want to watch this piece of crap? You know, but like back then, YouTube actually promoted videos, where now it's like you dying to just get them to promote basic stuff now, you know. You said I saw Rihanna with a flip. It's about to be lit. I'm done. You said 2 years. Okay, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like 2 years ago when YouTube actually would promote videos. Like I got so many videos that got views and the titles would like and I remember I used to upload when I first started. I used to upload videos right off of my PlayStation 4 onto my YouTube channel. And you know how when you upload a video from your PlayStation 4 or anything, it always has like them crazy numbers and whatever. I used to upload that and them videos would get views. Like who the hell is typing in 001 Saints Row? You know, like who's typing, you know, but like somehow people was finding them videos and they would watch it and be like, "Oh, I like this video. Cool video. Oh, this is actually really cool. How'd you do that?" I'm like it's so crazy how YouTube actually used to promote people's content, you know? You said, huh, Riri ain't no flip. That was a compact mirror. You said, yeah, same. I got a bootleg guide for Far Cry 5. I was twisted and uploaded it. I was considering deleting my YouTube. Only 3 subs overnight. I had 15K. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it's crazy. Like you used to be able to put up stuff like that and get and pull views, you know what I'm saying? Like pull new people to your channel. Now it's like you don't get no views for nothing no more. Nothing gets you views anymore. You said it's now at 59,000 views. Okay. Dang, that's pretty big. That's what I'm saying. Like it's crazy. Like it's so crazy when you think about the way YouTube was back then and how Logan Paul and PewDiePie and all them messed it up for us. So now we gotta struggle and be pumping out content all the time and be streaming. Like, you know, just doing like not even it's not, I wouldn't say it's like stupid stuff, but just doing stuff just because it's like you just supposed to give somebody content. You know? Like, oh, I need to stream so many times a week, or I need to upload because I need to stay within the algorithm because the algorithm wants me to upload every day. Not saying that you have to, but I'm saying if you want to grow on the platform, like that's what you have to do. Like some of my like even like I remember I did an Overwatch skit video with Levy, and that video I think it got over 100 views or close to, like that was the most cheesiest skit I've ever done. You know what I'm saying? Like I I that was one of the most cheesiest video. That was like one of my first. Well, it wasn't my first. I did another skit. I did a Pokemon Go skit. I don't think it was last summer. I think it was the summer before. Maybe it might have been last summer. I can't remember. I did a Pokemon Go skit. That video, like it's like some of my like worst videos skit wise, got crazy views on them. You said right. I feel like the SEP is bull. I used the tag album to get me popping. I went from 300 to 500 subs in a month. Some of my friends was hating because I surpassed them. LOL. Yeah, I mean, for me, what I use now, I use TubeBuddy. That's what I use. I use TubeBuddy. I use the tags. That's what's kind of helped boost it up my views, I would say, more, because a lot of people don't even get notifications that I upload. I got dead subs. You know, I've realized that streaming for some apparent reason gets people like to come back to life on my channel. I don't know if it's because they want to interact with me live, or is it because they only get live notifications? Like, you know, I don't know what it is. You said I remember that skit. Yeah, right. That's what I'm saying. Like that skit was one of the most cheesiest skits I made. I had bad lighting, bad everything, and that got a lot. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. This dude bought 300 subs and lost them the next day. Can't buy subs. That's all I can say. You should not buy subs. Like, I don't know why people feel like buying. Like, people are so obsessed with subscribers. And it's like, if you have all these subscribers and nobody watches your videos, what good is your channel? Like, I don't get why people don't get that. People think, oh, I got 1,000 subs. I got 5,000 subs. I got, you know what I'm saying? Like, people, I don't know. It's weird. People associate subscribers with your success. But, like, now it's about the views and the watch time. So it really don't even matter no more about your subs. You said live streaming like this, I can understand because it's like one-on-one time, like you now. Yeah. I mean, I like this because I think it gives you guys a chance to kind of like ask questions if you want to ask questions, if you want to like bring up like for instance just just like random stuff. Like it's it's crazy like how, it's only like two other people in here, but yet we've been talking nonstop. You know what I'm saying? So like you wouldn't get this off of a video. You would just watch the video and like it, comment, and move on. You can't get this. So you said, when I see people with 50,000 subs and 150 views, LOL, your view count should be at least 8 to 10% of your subs. 5,000 subs and 20 views, the fuck? Yeah, and that's the thing. Like that's what I had to realize because, like, I don't know if you guys exactly. I got the 10. Yeah, I do too, the 10% rule because, well, for the most part, from the content I've seen you guys create, we don't create that like I always call like bubblegum content, and bubblegum content meaning like kid friendly content. Like, and not saying that our content is like trash. I'm saying, like the DIYs, like all that stuff. Like, oh, look at my kids and them do their hula hoop dances. Like we don't create that type of content. So we don't appeal to probably the mass majority of people that are on YouTube. We're appealing probably more so to, they said I don't know about you guys, but they said my category is like ages 18, I think, to 30 something. So basically I appeal to adults. I don't appeal to children at all, which I know why, because I don't do stuff that probably a lot of kids would watch. So you got to think about, okay, if your audience is an adult, 9 times out of 10, they have a job. Or if they don't have a job, like me, I'm an adult, but I'm like finishing up school. Okay, they got school, they got other stuff to do. They don't have all day to just sit and like watch people stream and watch people, play video games all day like your average kid does. Your average kid doesn't have any worries because mom and dad does everything for them. So they can, when they get out from school at 3 o'clock, they got from 3 o'clock until maybe 9 or whatever they go to bed. So they're on YouTube and even sometimes, in school. So you said, yeah, you're right. Like for me, if I get 40, 50 views on a video, I'm satisfied. If it's higher than that, I'm feeling good. You're mad you put the up, but yeah. I mean, for me, I'm at 542 or 43 subs. So, I mean, for me, a good video, like my studio apartment video got like 55 views. Like that was pretty good. I wasn't really expecting that. Part of it, I think too, it probably came up in the SEO because those are kind of like what they call them, your kind of like typical videos that people post, like your typical, oh, check out my apartment, or oh, like those are like your typical videos. So that might have also came up in the SEO. So I might have had outside people that saw that as well. But yeah, I mean, a lot of time our content is not going to appeal to your average child. So you're not going to get as many views, like, because I watch Roberto Blake. I don't know if you guys watch him, but he's kind of like a YouTube, well, guru, I guess you could say. And the type of content and stuff that he makes, some videos are hit or miss, because it's just like he has an adult, he has like a how-to channel. So, and his how-to appeals to adults. It doesn't really appeal to like a child, Like for instance, a lot of time a child is not gonna be like, oh, how to do this in Photoshop, how to do this in Adobe Premiere Pro. Like a child's not gonna be looking that stuff up, So, but it's also Roberto Blake and the Niman brothers, Jake Dar. Yeah, like Roberto Blake, like he's really like, and I like his content, and it's crazy because like he'll show like his estimated revenue, but he be bringing home $5,000-6,000. Like that's what he be telling people, like views are not everything. It's all about your CPM, like, and how clean your content is. Like that dude on his last video, he I think it showed he had like $5,000-6,000 he made in a month. And people are like, oh, your channel's dead. He's making more money than some of these YouTubers that are getting way more views than him. Like that's crazy to bring home that much money off of something that you do for fun. Because he already said like YouTube is not his, like, that's not his passion. Like, I mean, it's his passion, but that's not like his full-time gig. Like he has a company outside and he uses YouTube as a way to promote it, So like that's crazy to make that type of money off of like doing something that's basically promoting your company. So he's probably also getting a kickback at the same time, So it's crazy. Like it's crazy. I've been freestyling my YouTube channel. Oh, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Hey, I mean, you're streaming. I notice a lot, and streaming will get you a lot more. Okay, so this is the way how I've perceived streaming and what I've like researched on. So when you stream, like right now, I've been streaming for an hour and 24 minutes and 50 some seconds, whatever. So y'all been watching probably for about the past 30 minutes or so, right? Okay, so that's all like going to be calculated into my what they call your lifetime watch time. And so streaming is like it helps build your stats because when you stream you always got people coming in, coming out, coming in, coming out. Like you ever notice how like your streams always have more views than your videos that you make because you always got people coming in and coming out, coming in and coming out. So that's kind of like why people's channels grow a lot more when they do stream. And then because you're live, unless only one person watches half of the live stream, that's gonna boost up your watch time by a lot. Because if you're streaming for an hour and something, 9 times out of 10, especially if you're like a smaller creator, you're not gonna have an hour's worth of probably watch time off of one video. You know? So like it helps you overall and then it just kind of it just kind of promotes you, you know, because it's like I'll play a game like Far Cry. I'll play a game like Detroit Becomes Human. People on YouTube will go just to look up that game, and if I'm playing it and they like me, they'll come watch. You know, they'll be like, "Oh, I like Bofina. Okay, now I'm gonna go check her other videos. I'm gonna subscribe." You know, so it's also like a way to like get yourself, I think, out there more. So I think that's why streaming is starting to like, at least on YouTube, I think it helps people's channels. I don't know about, you know, other stuff, but you heard about CTR being rated now by YouTube. CTR, what is that? CTR being rated? What do you mean? You said click-through rate under the Creator Studio beta now to show you how many people seen your thumbnail and how many people have clicked on it. Yeah, yeah. Like I didn't know about that, but yeah, like you can. I don't know. It's like streaming helps your channel. It just does. You said I like live streaming. I really like editing videos too, but live streams get all the clicks and views. Yeah, it does. It really does. Like it's something about you being able to. Oh yeah, if you guys haven't already, don't forget to hit that like button. So if you guys are in the stream and you like the stream and you've been sitting here for a while, please click the like button. But it's something about that like one-on-one time. It's something about that like, hey, I want to get to know you. You know, it's just something about that people like, that interaction. And hey, you know, by all means, you know, like I like it too. I think it's great, you know. So I think it's great to get that one-on-one time with a creator because that's really how you grow, you know. That's really how you kind of grow. And that's kind of the sucky part about like when creators do get bigger, like when people kind of, well, not kind of, but when they make it, that's the part that sucks because it's like they don't have the time nor can they go through all the comments. You know, like for instance, let's say I had, people say this is low. I don't think of it as being low, but let's say I had 100,000 subscribers and every time I stream, let's just say I get 5%, maybe, you know, so 5,000 people. There's nowhere in the world I can interact with 5,000 people, even if only 1,000 of them are commenting or, you know, writing. You can't interact. Same with when you make videos, you got that many views. Like you just can't interact with all those people. So it's kind of nice at the same time being a smaller creator because I can actually interact with a lot of you and actually talk to a lot. Like there's a lot of you guys. Like I know you guys. Like you guys follow me on Twitter or you know what I mean. Like you've added me on PlayStation. Whereas, like, when you get to a certain status, you can't add everybody on your systems. You can't talk to everybody. And then you got trolls, so you can't really, you know, so. You said you would need moderators. Yeah, basically. Yeah, at that point, you would need moderators. Like, on Twitch, a lot of people, you know, you would need you would need something because it would just be overkill. Really. It would just be overkill. You couldn't read everything, and that's the people I say like, oh, like the streamers on Twitch that have like, you know, like 30,000, 40,000. It's like, oh, they never read my chat. It's like, you know how fast that line is going. Like that thing is like just like, you know, like especially when people be like writing emojis, that thing is just flying up and down. Like, you know what I mean? Like, nobody is you're not gonna be able to read that. And even if you put it in slow mode and you put it to what is it, subs only, you're not gonna be able to read that. Like, and I think that's what people fail to realize. And especially if you're a streamer and you're trying to play a game, like trying to be into the game, because that's what makes a good streamer. A streamer that can play the game, be into the game, and can chat at the same time. That's hard, you know? You said especially if you're playing a game, it's difficult because some games do, exactly, right, exactly. Some games they don't pause. You have some games where it's like you just keep going. You can't stop. Like, you know, like for instance like Overwatch or League. You know, those are games that's like you gotta be focused, and that's why those type of games, I think too, when people go to those streams, at least for me, I don't go there expecting to get to know the streamer because they're trying to do good in the game. Like, and then two, it just gets to that point where it's like you got so many people talking. It's just like, how do you even keep up with all of that? You know, like, how do I keep up with, even if it's only 10,000 people chatting, how do you keep up with that? You got to hide somewhere and read the chat. Yeah, basically. Some people end up, because I have Nightbot, some people end up getting Nightbot. So, like, when people want to know, like, let's say hypothetically, you want to know, okay, like, you're new. Um, let's say you're like, oh, I want to know about Bofina's age. What school does she go to? Or maybe, you know, her major, whatever. So you'll put, like, exclamation bio or something. You know, so people that, like, when new people come in, you have to keep saying the same thing 50 billion times. So that's something else, you know, that's nice. But obviously a bot is not going to be able to get everything, because I believe, I can't remember what they said, but I believe Nightbot, he has, well, I guess it's a he, I don't know. Well, put it this way, the bot has a cap of how many, you know, basically viewers it can handle at a time. So some people are going to slip through. So that's the other thing. When you start getting 100, like how Ninja is, like 70,000, 100, like Nightbot's not going to save you at that point. It's not going to be able to catch every single person when they're saying something that could be, you know, inappropriate. It's not going to catch everybody. So, you know, I need to put my charger on. My phone, it's not dead, but it's going to die soon, and I want to keep chatting on the live chat. I'm down to like what? 26%. I was at like 80%, but I've been on for like an hour, a little over an hour and a half, so I want to stay on those, so I want to put this charger on. She said go hide. Yeah, I don't know. And like sometimes, but see, if you get good moderators, what ends up happening is they'll just answer the questions for you, which is also good if you have, you know, let me put this down. If you have a good moderator or good moderators, you know, eventually they'll just answer the questions for you. So that's also a nice thing to have, or in my opinion, that is. Do I have an outlet on this side? No. The closest one is over there. That sucks. Yeah, but yeah, I see you when Boredom says, I see you've been streaming like a lot. Like a lot. But that's good though. I mean, that's what, you know, that's how it's supposed to be. But that's what I want to get into more. But I know I can't do gaming all the time. So that's why I'm saying I think for me, my best bet is probably going to be like doing these type of streams where I can get on for 30 minutes to an hour a day. Not every day, but like once or twice a week, and be like, oh, hey, how's it going? Like I'm thinking about maybe start doing live Q&As. Like, I mean, obviously my channel's not that big where I could probably do one every week, but maybe I do one maybe like once a month or something. Like I get on for 30 minutes, you know, once a month, like, hey, come with questions on Friday at 7 p.m. Central Time. I'm going to be on answering questions, live questions. Obviously appropriate ones, but, you know, I'll be answering questions. So that's something that, like, I may want to do. I don't know. You said that's because I've been off the last 5 days, but on Monday it's back to work. Then I make, oh, well, yeah. Yeah, that's how it always is. I feel like when you have vacation time, you get so much motivation. You just be like, I have nothing but time, I have nothing to do but just create. Just create, you know? You said I'd be hiding behind explosive drums like a dummy. Hold on, guys. I need to plug in my charger. Hold on. Have fun looking at the fan, my ceiling fan. Okay. Let me plug this in. My phone's gonna die. It's like, come on now. Don't be complicated. Okay, there we go. Can I flip it? Oh, I can flip it. Okay. Cool, that works for me. Yay. You said explosive drums, bruh. You like, bruh. Like, you like, relax. Take it easy. So yeah, I had to plug in my phone because it was about to die. I'm at like 24. Well, it's not gonna die, but eventually it's gonna die. I didn't realize how like even being on Wi-Fi, I didn't realize how hefty this like streaming is on your cell phone. Like it drains your battery like crazy. So yeah, but I saw you. I saw you stream the other day though. When boredom sets in, you was doing fine. Like you was able to keep up. I mean, plus you was playing, I believe, until dawn. So like that's like a game where it's a story based game, and it's also a game where it's like you only have so much time to answer, like to answer basically. So like you have to be attentive with that type of game. You can't just be like, oh yeah. So I want to know, do you guys know if these type of streams, like what I'm streaming right now, do you guys know if like how are these promoted into YouTube? Maybe I should do it like this. It's not gonna stretch. I'm gonna have to do it like this. Yeah, it's not gonna stretch. Yeah. You said I'm gonna send you something, Bonnie, on Twitter DMs. I haven't seen Hollywood on in a hot minute. I'll explain. Yeah, I haven't seen her on either. Like, and that's the crazy part. She was on a roll. Like, they see me rolling. My can wait. Is it upside down for you guys, or is it fine? Because I had to rotate it so my charger would stretch. Is it fine? But yeah, she was. It was weird because she was uploading every day, and her channel was growing. Like she seemed like she had an organic channel. You know what I mean? Like she seemed like she had a very organic channel of people that actually went to her channel and actually wanted to hear what she was talking about and hear what like it's weird. Like it's weird. Um I was talking big shit and then crying 5 minutes later when a jump scare happens. I was singing Psalms and Hamlet. Yeah, that I remember when that game came out. I'm not a big fan of scary games by any means. So yeah, you don't really see me playing those type of games. Only scary game, it wasn't even scary. What was that game? Dead by Daylight. I've played that a little bit. That game's not really scary. I thought it was gonna be scary. It's not really that scary, but it's kind of cheesy in my opinion too. It's not that like to me, it's not that great of a game. It's all right. It's all right. It's nothing crazy about that game, but that's just my opinion. Yeah, so do you guys know how these type of streams get pushed into like the YouTube system and the algorithm? Like how do these type of streams that are just like you know, like this, like I'm just streaming, like how does this, because like I didn't put anything like, oh, I'm playing this game. All you guys see is the picture I took and the title. That's it. So I wonder because like I see people are like coming in and coming out. So I'm like, are these my subscribers that are seeing this, or are these outside people that are like I don't know. Okay, not outside, but people that aren't subscribed to me, I guess. You said it's a party game like Friday. Yeah, like it's really meant to play with your friends. That's really what it is. It's a friend game, party chat. It's really all it is. You said I'm not sure. I believe they have creators that they promote. I got the bell clicked. Well, yeah, like I don't know. It's just interesting. You said it was on my main page on YouTube. Oh, well, yeah, because you sub to me, but I guess I'm wondering because like I see people like the number go up and it go down, so I'm wondering like, are those subs or those actually people that are just like coming into the chat like that don't I guess know who I am? They're not sub to me, so I don't know. It's just kind of strange, but yeah, Dead by Daylight, yeah, it's okay. I see why people like it because it's strategic. It's strategy based. Like especially if you're a survivor, and I guess if you're a killer too, you have to be strategic. But especially if you are a survivor, you have to be strategic to try to get the generators all up so then you can um, move on, you know? So I can see why, but I don't know. It's kind of cheesy to me. I don't know. I thought it was gonna like. I guess I don't see the hype. I don't see why everyone's like, "Oh my god, this is the best thing since butter." Like like it's all right game. I feel like being the killer honestly is more fun because you get a chance to see some of the stupid decisions that so many people make, and I feel like that's the thing that I like about that. I like being the killer. You see, I'm not a big fan of the game. I would have got bored of it really fast. I need more action. Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. I need more something. Like it's because it's kind of like if you're a survivor, it's a lot of kind of like trial and error. You kind of wait. Okay, let me kind of sit here, kind of wait. Like it's kind of like one of those type of games. You kind of sit around and do a lot of waiting. You do a lot of waiting because you're listening for footsteps. You're trying to talk to your teammates. You're trying to make sure your generator doesn't make sound because they have what they call a skill check. So it's okay and it's not scary. I thought it was gonna be scary. That's why I was skeptical about downloading when it became free because I was like, oh, this game's gonna be scary. I'm not gonna like it. And then I played it and it wasn't scary. And I wouldn't say I don't like it, but I would say I'm not a fan of it either. I would say I'm neutral about it. You said I can play even within two and have a better time. Yeah, there's a lot of games that you could probably have a better time with. A game that actually may be scary. That game is nothing about it is scary. The game is like kind of like I don't know what it is, but it's not scary. But it is what it is. I know people like those type of games. I heard that community though is super toxic though. People be saying that community is like hella toxic because like people be messaging you saying like, "Oh, you suck. You're the reason why we lost." Like, get out of here. Like that sounds like the 2K community. Um, that's what that sounds like. The 2K community. People used to send me death threats, and they'd be like little kids too. Used to be sending me messages like, oh, "I'm gonna come whoop your ass." Like, if you don't get out of here with your 12-year-old self, like, if you don't get out of here with that. Um, You said the lore behind it is pretty good, but not enough ways to learn about. Oh yeah, speaking of laugh man. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it'd be like these little squeaky and like little kids like I'm gonna come whoop your ass. You suck. You suck. Like if you don't get out of here with that, like you better watch out for your mom come and spank you doing all that cussing. Like like that's how I felt. Like get out of here, dude. Because that's what happened. Oh my god, I have to share this story. That's what happened. Okay, so for those of you, I don't know if you guys play Soul Calibur, but you may know about Soul Calibur. That's like, a pretty decent sized fighting game. And I remember this when I had my PlayStation 3, and I'm telling you, I was up here with that game. I was good, kicking butt. And I remember I whooped this guy. I think I did a team, so like I would play a match, and then my friend would play a match. Like it was like that or something like that. And I remember I whooped this guy so bad. Like I felt bad for him. You think like I whooped you so bad. I felt bad for you, my guy. You were so bad at the game. And literally, at the end, and like a lot of kind of games like that, at the end, you're able to like chat on the mic after. And so the guy was like, "Oh, so where you from?" And I'm just like, from nowhere. He's like, "So where you from?" I'm like, "Nowhere." And he's like, "Oh well, you act like you all tough and stuff in the game. Give me your address. I'm gonna come whoop your ass." I'm just like, "What is this guy talking about?" And I remember I was like in middle school or something like that, or no, I might have been high school. I don't know. And I was like, "Mom, this guy told me he's gonna whoop my ass. He told me he's gonna find me and whoop my butt." And it was terrible. It was terrible. It was, and like people really got mad. Like people would get mad at those games. Same with Tekken. Tekken was free on the PlayStation 3. That was free, and it was based off of tokens. So basically, I think you had three tokens. You had three tokens, and each token, I think you had to wait an hour to redeem it. So some people would get mad because if they lost, you would lose a token and you wouldn't redeem it back until an hour went by because it's a free to play game. And people would send you threats because you beat them. It's like it's okay, you know, the game is not going nowhere in an hour. Like, like it's okay. It's okay. You said they should have never gave you children YouTube Dave Chappelle voice as Rick James. You said they a mess. Right. It's some crazy mother suckers. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's people that really take games almost like, well, we might as well talk about it now. Almost like the incident that happened, was it last week at that Madden NFL tournament, gaming tournament. I made a video about it. I don't know if all y'all watched. I know Your Majesty, she commented, but I don't know if you watched it when boredom sets in, if you watched it, but it was sad. Like that was so sad. Like those people went to that convention to play a game to maybe I'm guessing there was some type of money at the end to win money or maybe it was just to have, to say, hey, I'm the best, whatever. And this crazy dude just shot open fire on people. And then after he killed himself. That's so sad. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like to go to a gaming convention and to get shot. A gaming convention. And not to say that all the other people that have been in situations where they've gotten shot are okay. I'm just saying, like, that's the last place, at least I would think of as a place to, like, someone's going to get shot at. Like a gaming convention. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think if there's, like, this is a place where people are going to have a good time. This is a place where people are like, oh, I'm going to forget about my problems. I'm going away from home for the weekend, have a good time with my friends, have some, good, I guess, competitiveness, and that's it. You said, look at the ice cream man out. It's not even that hot out. I can hear it. You guys probably can't hear it, but you said killed that brother, and he was debating on whether or not to go. He scraped money up to go. Senseless. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And in the video, you could see on his chest there was like a red dot. Like in the live stream. I'm like, that's so sad. Like he didn't even realize because he was playing the game. And I mean, you never think about a gaming convention getting shot up. You never think of that. And I was like, that to me, that's so sad. Like, I don't know, like just because. And people were saying like, because you could look at the guy looked like he was a sociopath. Like he looked like he was maybe on something or like, like that typical, like, so they always get that typical like blank kind of like stare, that blank kind of like look about them, like just nothing. They like there's nothing to them. That's just so sad. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, and then not to like get all emotional. I'm just saying like that type of stuff. People get mad to that extent, and then now what ends up happening is now they're gonna start talking about gamers like, oh, gamers are social. Like, nah, it's just that guy. It's just that guy. Don't blame me into. Don't put me in that bundle. I ain't crazy. I'm not gonna go shoot somebody because I lost the game. Because that's the only reason why I feel like he did that. What else? What was the other reason? Because they said he lost the game, lost the match. He got kicked out of the tournament. When you lose, you get kicked out of the brackets or whatever. And he just went to his car and opened fire. Like that's what I'm saying. Like that's why I feel like that's the only reason why. Why else? What you know what I mean? Like what else is the point for you to do that? Because you got mad. So yeah, that's something. It sucks. So I hope that never happens to any of us. Because I don't know. People just getting out of hand. And then supposedly there was like a shooting or something. I think that happened a week earlier in the same area. So it's like, it's always something going on now. Like you hear always someone getting shot or something this or something that. And it's like, when is y'all going to stop? When is we going to stop? So it is what it is, I guess. Looking like my school schedule. I had to end up having to drop a class because I ended up having like I usually take 4. I always sign up for 5 because I usually always drop one. So I ended up dropping one on Friday or no, maybe I've been Thursday. I think I dropped it on Thursday. I don't know. I can't remember. Did any of you guys play 2K? Like 2K or NFL? Do you guys play those type of games or not really? I played 2K one time and I told myself never again. Never again. That was like the worst thing ever because people take that game way too seriously. And then you that type of game you gotta have what they call it the VC bucks or the bucks. You gotta have that to buy certain things because it's just gonna take you so long to do it organically. You'll never catch up with anybody unless you're gonna know life the game like some people. You said I don't play sports games. I need adventure. Okay, so you like kind of adventurous type games more so, or like well yeah. I mean I get that yeah. I mean because some type of games they're repetitive, and that's the thing that I don't get about those games. Like people fiend for those games, and like not much really changes about them except like okay maybe this person comes from this team and they go to that team and like vice versa. So it's not like much changes with those games. So that's I never understand why people get so like hyped about them because I'm always just like it's the same game, maybe a little bit better graphics. This guy went from that team to this, like it's nothing like to die for. It's nothing super crazy. So I don't know. Oh yeah, also thanks for the shout out that you gave on your stream when boredom sets in because I think I got a new sub. Your subscriber suicide. I can't remember the last couple numbers. They subscribed. So and they came to my live stream yesterday that I did. Yeah, yesterday because you had came in right when I was about to end. So I appreciate that because, like I said, any support, any type of, you know, acknowledgement, like that stuff helps out. Because I can tell, you got like loyal people that come to your stream and like actual supporters, and that's what you want. Like, you don't want none of that sub for sub stuff and all that crap because it doesn't help. It really doesn't. And I remember that's how I used to get some of my subs. Like, I never really did sub for sub, but it ended up kind of being like that, sort of. I don't know. You said, I just seen a wrestling game that people going crazy over and it looks like an NES game. Fire Pro Wrestling, I think it's called. Oh. Yeah, WWE, that's another one a lot of people play. Like, it's like a new thing every year. I feel like those games eventually are going to die off, too. Because there's just not enough. It's not enough to them to spend $60 on, knowing that once you get those games, you're going to probably have to spend more money. So it's like, I don't know. I just think those type of games are kind of pointless. Like, it's the same thing, literally, every year. You say I usually sub to people during the live stream and give them some support. I don't sub to people a lot of time on the live streams. And the reason why I don't is because I've noticed that a lot of people that come to my live streams, like when I stream like video games and like those are just viewers. Like, so like they don't make videos. They literally are coming to watch me play. So I won't subscribe. And I just don't do a lot of times sub for sub anymore. Like, cause that's basically what that is. If like someone subs to you and you sub back, it's basically like sub for sub, which I just don't want to do. Because you kind of end up getting a lot of dead subs that way too, or you end up like what I always tell people, you end up having to support, like the person only supports you as much as you support them. And that's what happened to me. Like, so if you stop watching their videos, they gonna stop watching your videos. If you don't have as much time to comment, they won't so it's like they're only gonna support you as much. And like the type of audience I want people to come to my channel. I want people to watch my content, watch my live streams, regardless. And typically the type of artist, like that's what you want. You want people to watch you regardless if you're able to support them or not. You want them to like be like, yeah, I'm riding with this person, I'm gonna support them regardless. So it is what it is though. It is what it is. Alright guys, I'm about to get off. Because it's been almost about 2 hours now. You said it depends on your interaction with them. I am very upfront about my time, but if I can catch it, I pop in and talk my shit. True, yeah. Sorry, guys, I'm about to get off. I've been off for about almost 2 hours. I appreciate you guys for coming by. Really means a lot. Because like I said, I was on here talking for like 30, 40 minutes. No one was like even here. I mean, obviously I started my stream a lot earlier than the other day. But in terms of tomorrow, I don't know because it depends on how quick I can download Destiny. If I can download Destiny relatively quick, then I'll probably get on and maybe stream that. So yeah, appreciate it. And also, Your Majesty, don't forget you say you wanted to mess me about something on Twitter. So I'll be looking for that as well. So hope you guys have a good rest of your day and a great holiday if I don't see you tomorrow. Peace.